Today is September 20th, 2024. I was thinking about this latest penumbral lunar eclipse, and I just checked to see when the counterpart comes, and that's October 2nd, annular solar eclipse. I felt a lot of disturbance all around me, but these things, when they come, they do impact us long before and long after. I'm not sure how it works for others, but for me, it seems to build up to the point where I feel like I'm in the eye of the storm. So when it's at its apex, and then it dwindles down, but the distortion gets weirder. It's like a manipulation of the time that's going on. I've been thinking this past year, how does it feel to me? It feels very strange, quite frankly. It feels very strange if I look at my whole life. And I try to do it in a way that does not scare me or pushes me to that state where you're frustrated and you want to give up. You're like, I can't take this anymore. I want to look at it without feeling too much about it, because the way I operate, and I think everybody should operate that way, is focus on yourselves. Focus a lot on what you can do without having to rely on others, which is hard because of the way things are built around us. But once we understand that it is artificial, we start paying more attention to those things that keep on coming to distract us from what we actually need to do. Ever since I came here, there's this sense of futility. It's like someone already carved this path for me, and I am like trying to follow it, but I'm like, it doesn't make sense. And you need to be brave about these things, because if it doesn't make sense, you need to understand why and what would make sense to you. To me, it doesn't make sense that constantly I feel this pressure to constantly select something. I don't want to select anything. I want to be neutral. I don't want to be rushed. I don't want to be forced into doing something just because someone tells me I'm their last resort, for instance. I'm like, have you really looked into it? Why do you rely on others and expect mercy? I mean, do you think how much energy goes into thinking how to have other people fix your problems, and very little at what you can do about it? And you can do as much as you want until you realize there is no point, for instance. Because searching for a solution doesn't necessarily mean you're going to find one, or you're going to find the best solution. That's the ideal. However, sometimes you just need to give up. I'm a solution seeker, always have been. And I'm not sure where that is necessarily coming from. It's probably coming from my way of analyzing things. I've been analyzing things ever since I I can remember and seeking what's the best solution. Like this time when I was in kindergarten and they were feeding us something that I did not like. Uh, so, even though I was like 4 or 5 years old, first of all, I was trying to find out if they're cooking that damn thing, some semolina, some pudding, but it was disgusting. Oh, it was healthy, alright. I don't know for who, because for me, it was like, oh my god, I was close to throwing up. So I needed a solution. My first solution was to throw it under the table. And then uh, the backlash was that they were like, are you throwing this under the table? And I'm like, uh-oh. Oh no, I am not. So then I said, okay, I'm gonna have to throw it further away from where I'm sitting. That was my second solution. And that did not work either because the backlash was other kids were getting, questioned. And I'm like, that's not fair either. I can't put the blame on someone else. And then I came up with this idea. Because the kitchen was in the basement, I was able to see what they were cooking. And what did I do then? Well, I started finding out what my other little prisoners in the kindergarten liked and disliked. So guess what, folks? I did find the best solution possible. I was trading. So, I don't know if there is a moral to this, but oh man, I always thought about myself. Why can't I come up with the best solution from the beginning? Well, that's because we have a process called trial and error, experience, and then you've got the integrity, and then you've got, I don't know, the spirit of adventure. You know? So, every time I think about that episode in my life, I'm like, man, oh man. What a little monkey I was ever since I was a kid. But you have to look at things, and understand that there's an evolution. There's a version of yourself that keeps on changing, and that is based on the experiments, what you experience, and how it affects you, and how you choose to affect you, right? And it's funny when I encounter people from my past, they always grab to my old versions of myself. And that's a version when I was trying to fit in, because that's what you're supposed to be doing when you come here. You need to fit in. I don't know why they think I need to fit in. You need to fit in. Anyone needs to fit in. As long as you're being decent and you're doing the right thing and you're using love, compassion, empathy, and first and foremost, you need to show love towards yourself. But this is the first thing that seemingly is being stripped away from you. You're being taught you need to sacrifice, and it's okay to be a martyr, and no, it's not. There is no sacrifice in anything, really. Like, everything has to flow, in my opinion. Everything flows, everything balances out. And when force is being used, consequences beyond anyone's control happen. And that's what I think us as humans, we don't understand that fully. And that's because our perception has been distorted to such an extent that we lost I keep on saying we lost our moral compass. We did. My fight is to find my moral compass and stick to it. And I try to do that without impacting others. But I find myself all the time drawn into drama, drawn into things that are useless, are futile. If people were to put more energy into themselves instead of worrying about others, that would be a better use of your energy. You have to understand there are things that are not within your control. Even though you think you can control them because, I don't know, manipulation has been ingrained in you, or you always winning is something that you're used to. There are times when you pick your battles. I pick my battles all the time. And most of the time I pick not to fight. That is my first amendment. I conserve my peace as much as I can. And I notice that the more I try to defend it, the more is being attacked. Have you ever wondered, when everything seemed to be so peaceful to you, all of a sudden stuff starts happening to you from all sides, and funnily enough, you have absolutely nothing to do with that. You're like a little pebble or a little snowflake caught into an avalanche. And what do you do then? You're trying to figure out a way to steer away from all that. And I discovered the more I try to steer away, the more I'm being drawn into drama. And that is something that I absolutely refuse to do. From now on, that's the way to go. I don't need to choose things that are being presented to me under threat, under coercion, under emotional manipulation, that type of thing. Because if it is that way, that means it is distorted. It has to flow properly. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. It's just that certain events have happened these past couple of days that are making me question more and more, why do I always feel this pressure that I need to take a decision because someone forces me to take a decision because that's what they want. And somehow it involves my participation and only mine. Well, if it comes down to that, my answer is no. I do not wish to participate in any drama from now on. Because it never helped me, it never helped anyone, quite frankly. Like, think about those policemen who go into domestic disputes and they end up dead. And they're trying to fix something and they go there and all of a sudden I don't know, the alcohol's effects have left the brain and they're like, oh no, I love this person. Oh no, it's okay. Wow, they beat me up because I deserved it. And I had this gun and he felt threatened and I shot the cop. Or the other way around. Meaning, he shot the cop because he felt he was threatening his wife, which he was beating on just earlier. If somebody creates drama, they need to be able to fix it themselves. And in this situation would be to stop consuming alcohol. If you're not able to stop at one glass or two glasses or somewhere at that point where you do not lose yourself, you're better off not to drink, for instance, or drugs. People do drugs also. And that's the major problem in our life. If you don't do drugs because, you choose that psychedelic experience and you go and you buy, I'm not into drugs, so I don't know, but you seek the thrill. You seek that thrill and you go buy whatever. You go in toilets to shoot up stuff into yourself or sniff or whatever. And then you lose control of yourself. And then, oh, you were weak. And everyone else needs to understand that you were weak and show empathy. Meanwhile, you stabbed someone. So it comes down to what you can do for yourself always. And don't feel pressured to choose something just because someone presents you with solutions that are not yours. And somehow the solution involves you to help them do something, whatever that is. And people are egotistic. I look at my cats and I see some traits that I would like to remove from them, but I can't. However, I realize they're just animals. If we are so superior to animals, why can't we control some impulses that are so low? I'm thinking of envy, jealousy, hate, wondering why someone is doing better than you are. Meanwhile, you put all that energy into something that is not serving you. What serves us is to take care of our physical body, mental health, which is top on my list, because we do live in a crazy, crazy world. And if we do not pay attention, we're going to end up swirling in the torment of others and how they make you feel guilty if you do not respond to unreasonable demands on you, your essence, your energy. And it's not an act of selfishness. It's an act of realizing that you do have a value that someone else is trying to suck it out of you senselessly. It's like this parasite that is that stupid kills its host. Because parasites are not smart. They're devious. Right? So today I was thinking about this urge constantly ever since I can remember. Oh, I need to make choices. This is it or this is that. No, people. There's always another choice. You choose yourself. You do it from your heart without hating, without feeling frustrated, because at some point if stuff like that happened to you is because you allowed it. And I am guilty of it and I embrace it. And I said yes, but at the same time I wouldn't have learned certain things. I know it is an expression to look at the half full, and it's true. But when the balance is so low, you need to look at the empty side of the glass and think, why is it that way? Is it because you chose to do something against your own benefit in an attempt to be a savior for others? Because you think being a hero means to suffer and to be sacrificed, right? That's not true. All you need to do is look after yourself, and keep your balance, keep your logic. Try let less outside drama come into your life, and always control what you can control as best as you can. And even if it's getting harder and harder to do that, you're being distracted by noises outside, like I am right now. Dealing with short-term memory does not mean I do not remember essential things. And my short-term memory is a result of trauma. That's what I think. As always, I keep everything open for interpretation, because we are little computers gathering data, and then we choose the proper antivirus program. And first one is reset to who you are. Love yourself every day, not becoming egotistic and selfish in a way that is actually true. Just think you build your own world, your universe. You accept everything that comes in, and it's up to you what you do with what you accept and you don't. Alright, people, I'm not sure if I made a lot of sense. However, please pay attention, because October 2nd is nearing, and I sense a lot of energies trying to distract and throw you off balance. And I would pay attention to people who indulge in mind altering things. Stay away from them, because they become portals for something we cannot explain, but we feel the impact, and sometimes we do see the ugly face, or more like you hear it growling. Not in a schizophrenic type of way, no, but you can sense it. Love you all, take care.